Hello everyone, this is a Tuesday Morning Shenanigans bonus. Why? Because as you can probably tell, we did happen to fill up one whole episode, yet there's some stuff that I want to speak with my special guest just to keep the ball rolling. So you have done reviews on movies, but how long has this been going on?
I started off with Facebook reviews that were just being written. I think it was back in 2009. Yeah, 2009. Yeah.
Wow.
So like once I got a Facebook, I started like talking about movies. Like I was just like, oh, I started off with, oh, that movie was great. I was like, oh my god, you guys gotta watch this. This is awesome. And like people wanted to know more about like what I thought about movies other than just the initial, is it good, is it bad? So I just started writing a little bit more on Facebook, and it started getting very lengthy, and to where people were like, I want a shorter version. Like Jaren, I have no time to like read all that. I don't have time to read a novel. So I started doing the 15. You remember when Instagram used to just do 15-second videos?
Oh yeah.
That's where I started. Yeah. So I was just saying a bunch of random stuff, like the stuff that you would see on what do you call those TV spots with reviews from critics?
Yeah.
I would just be literally just saying that, like one word phrases and adjectives about it. And then people were like, that's too short. We want a little more. And I started off with my YouTube channel, which now kind of hangs about in ruins a little bit with my movie reviews that I've did for like 6 months. And they were like 20-minute movie reviews and discussions with my friends alongside of me. And they ran a little too long to where I almost spent a day of editing, and I didn't want to spend my only day off of the week from work sitting in my room and editing all the time.
That takes hours.
That takes hours, especially like when you go through it and you're like, my topic was this.
Yeah.
There's like a 10-15 minute discussion of something else. I did if you look on one of my YouTube videos, we actually did a review on Spectre, and the whole conversation was talking about how, well, like, which was the better Bond.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, so we're not talking about Spectre the movie anymore. We're just talking about the best Bond and the other movies in the past. This is not what we're talking about. So I cut back. I went back to now Instagram does a minute videos, and now I'm doing minute reviews. And so yeah, that's where I'm at now. So I find it a little more sufficient. Everybody gets the quick review that they want, but still get a little more information.
I think I would enjoy, just for the sake of, I know that you would be doing this as a joke, but if maybe on April Fool's Day you could just bring back your one-liner reviews. Excellent. One of the best effects I've ever seen. 5 stars out of 5, and that's it.
Oh my god! Go ahead and look at the. I don't know if I started the hashtags back then, but I remember like the 15-second ones were exactly that. It was the best movie of the year.
Yeah, go ahead and see it. This actor, boom, knocked it out of the park. This actress could have done better.
That's exactly what it was. You didn't even need to see it.
So, like, eventually, what inspired you to say, you know what, I want to do reviews?
It's only because a lot of people would message me on Facebook and would ask me so much questions. Like, it was like literally 100 questions. Like, I want to go see it, but I don't want to spend money on it. And I think this is only because a lot of people want to know, is their buck worth the bang of going through the trouble and spending this much money to go to the movie theaters. And some people, they either want to be completely thrilled, or they would rather sit at home with their Dragon Box or Netflix and rather do that. But people want the full, people want a theater experience sometimes, because there's no other way you're gonna get that. You can't get movie theater quality popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why none of the big name companies were ever able to match the exact taste. I mean, they say they can add movie flavor as much as they want on their packaging, but every time I eat it, it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah.
Why is it that movie vendor popcorn tastes so extravagant?
Yeah. And as messy and crazy a movie theater could get, I mean, it's all for the experience. I mean, we've been going to movie theaters for a very long time, especially fans who love movies in general. And I think that's kind of why I keep going, is because it's that experience.
That, and not to mention that you can get someone's opinion as much as you want, but how you feel is actually very subjective.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I mean, I've had things where I loved the movie, but then other folks didn't quite get it. I mean, when Kung Fu Hustle came out, I kept telling people, you should see this. I actually love it. And then, of all people, it had to be one of my relatives comes back and said, I didn't quite get it, but you're right. It was actually better than this other movie. But, you know, it is what it is.
And, you know, that also kind of comes back to, I guess, comedies, for example. You ever, like, sit and watch a comedy in a movie theater and you feel like you're laughing so much more, and then when you go home and you watch that same exact movie that's funny, and you're, like, at home, you're like,
Like, I didn't quite understand why I loved it so much the first time.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like going on a roller coaster by yourself. You're like, and then when you're like with a bunch of people, you know, you kind of like generate all that emotions. You know, it's fun to be around, you know, people who are in for that. I mean, I went to go watch Evil Dead in theaters, the remake, and it was so fun to have like a bunch of fans just like crowded around, and they were cheering for all the gore, and I was like, this is different, but this is fun. It's so much fun.
That's a pretty good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Going back to your whole analogy about being in a roller coaster alone, the funny thing is, when I went to a roller coaster alone at Disneyland, which was just 2 months ago, I actually had the time of my life. When I went with a group, which were my relatives, we did have fun being on all of the rides together, but there was one ride that I had fond memories of, but it didn't go so well the last time I went on there. That was Indiana Jones. Why? Because I was in the back seat, and to me, my philosophy is the back seat is the most boring seat. But when I was standing in line, I was like, this is the front row. And as it turns out, the Indiana Jones ride, which is what I was on, it didn't pull up in a station this way. It was that way, which means I was on the left side of the whole group.
You get lined
waiting to get lined up for the thing to, you know, come this way. But when it actually came that way, I was like, oh shoot, I'm in the back. Worst decision I've ever made. And in a vac, you know, I did get a little bit of that jolt, that thrill. I was like, yeah, that's cool, but at the same time, I'm in the back. Like, I don't get it. If I was closer to the front, I think it would be. Sorry about my tangent.
No, here's the thing. One, it's Disneyland.
That's true.
You know, you pray for it to, like, you know, I think, you know, seeing it in your perspective, I would love to just, like, skip all that line and just go, woo, straight right through the roller coaster ride. And that,
you're right.
I understand. Like, it's a time of your life. There's a lot of things to enjoy in Disneyland, and the fact is, you can't cover all of it in a day.
Oh, no, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
One time I actually, dare I say, ran away from the group as they were shopping through one of the big stores. I said, this is my time. So I said, I'm going to go to this roller coaster. You guys text me because I'll be over there waiting in line.
Yeah. So in that way, that's kind of why I think that Disneyland being by yourself versus like a roller coaster, an analogy of a theater, it's like, I was like, huh, you know, it's Disneyland.
Yeah. Again, very, very subjective.
Enjoy it.
All right, so let's move on to the random question of the day. Now, let's say you had an entourage of friends. Which celebrity would you love to be in that entourage?
Oh my God. What are you looking at me so bad, Swan? I think it's only because I've met him in person, but it would have to be Lee Wannell, from the writer, actor, and director, one of the directors of Saw and Insidious.
Okay.
He is a family man. I didn't realize that until I met him, but he's just, you know, he's a young guy at heart, you know, total geek, and like if you've seen his character in Saw and Insidious, you know, he just like he plays off his characters with such kind of like with comedic relief, even though they're stuck in the most horrific situations.
I think in the first Saw, not many people would have felt that way, but in the later sequels, you're like, yeah, I guess she deserved it.
Oh, Lee Wannell, I was talking about the one guy who was stuck in the bathroom the entire time.
Oh, my bad.
No, yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah. His name was
Are we talking
Adam, the
about
guy. No, the
guy?
very last one.
Ooh.
He didn't cut off his leg. He was the one that finally got totally the door shut on him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
and in
that
Insidious, he's Specs, the one Ghostbuster-looking guy with the glasses.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you know who I would like? Peter Dinklage, but he would have to dress up as Jonathan Comets.
Jonathan comments
and sings Space Pants whenever I want him to.
Enlighten. Wait, I don't think I know this character of Peter Dinklage.
So look up SNL, right?
Okay.
This is when Peter Dinklage, he was the special host of that episode.
Mm-hmm.
There was one sketch he did. It was a mob meeting. Basically, Peter Dinklage is a background character, but he steals the whole scene. Why? Because there's a serious mob meeting in the middle of this big dinner / concert, because it's one of those big dinners in a ballroom where they like to provide background entertainment in the form of live music, right? So you got this mob boss with his right hand man, and then they're having a meeting with these two guys who have literally they disappointed him with whatever deal that went sour, and they're gonna say, like, we want to kill you right now. But they're being distracted because out of nowhere, Peter Dinklage, he is a performance artist called Jonathan Comets, and he has the bleach blonde wig that's kind of like a bowl cut, but it's cut right here. I like to think of it as Sia, the girl who does
Okay.
Imagine that kind of haircut, but on Peter Dinklage. And then he has the space pants on with the silver jacket, and he says, "My name is Jonathan Comets, and my song that I will perform is called Space Pants." And so he does this whole intergalactic 80s cheesy style song. That was so darn funny to the audience, but it was obviously so distracting that it made the mob boss forget about what the whole beef was, and suddenly he starts singing the tune of Space Pants.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the lyrics basically go, "Boys and girls, I think you'll find that my pants will blow your mind. Look at my pants." It's from, with your eyes in your face.
Oh, you can only imagine that Peter Dinklage.
Space Pants, and he does the whole robot thing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's so weird how Peter Dinklage kind of like blew up because, like, the first time I ever saw him was Death at a Funeral, and I had no idea
really?
he was in both. Yeah, he was in both versions. He was in the BBC version, or is it the UK version? I don't know how you want to say it. And the American version, and it was so funny because he plays like the secret mysterious man who was actually a lover of his father.
The first one I saw him in was in Elf.
An Elf?
Yes.
You're gonna be so mad at me. I haven't seen Elf.
You haven't seen Elf?
I haven't seen Elf. The whole world is cracking down on me, even Swan. But I haven't seen Elf. I've been trying to. I've been trying to make time for it.
Basically, Will Ferrell is in a big business meeting, and Peter Dinklage is a big client that they're trying to appease and do a business deal with.
I saw that clip. Yeah.
Yeah, but then he keeps calling Peter an elf, and he says, he's drawing the line right there, and he's telling Will Ferrell, "Call me elf one more time." It's like basically see what happens. And he says, "He's an angry little elf," and then Peter's at it, and he
comes at him,
goes at him. So that was pretty much it. But hey, thank you very much for coming down once again. Again, if you guys did like this, like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, and I will be sure to have you once again in another episode. So hey, thanks a lot, you guys. We'll see you next time.